Good evening, everybody. Hopefully you are here and with us this evening for our incredible stockist launch Monday night natter. Now, as we get started and as the room goes live, if you are the first in the room, we would love to hear from you and let us know that you can hear us and you can see us. Honestly, we have been having a technological nightmare of a week. We've recorded videos with no sound this week. We've done lives with sound and no picture. It's all been going on here at HQ. So it will be a miracle if it works. I'm sure it will. But if you can and you're with us, then please do let us know that it is working and that you can hear us and that you can see us. Because we've told you this a million times, but we never know. We're in a little room in HQ. Anything could go wrong. We did it a couple of times where we actually went live and stood here speaking to ourselves and didn't realise that we hadn't gone live. So it's always better if somebody is in the room to let us know that they can hear us and they can see us. Now, Peter, by now somebody has normally rescued me and told me that they are here with us, but I am yet to see somebody appear. So are you okay on your side? Is your computer saying yes or no?
I can see you.
Good. Well,
I can see two of you.
I can see two of me. That's a scary thought. Nobody in this world needs two of me. One is scary enough, I can assure you. Now, this evening, as I mentioned, we are talking all things stockist launch with the brand new diamond collection. Now, the shows on Hobbymaker this week were hugely successful. So thank you all so much for tuning in and going a bit wild in the aisles with your shopping sprees. Now, I have got a picture to share with you actually, and it's not the first, but we did have a very big van full of parcels leave HQ today. So if you haven't yet had a notification, do keep an eye on your emails because I'm pretty sure you'll soon be told that your parcel is heading out the door. Now, Pete, I know they give us 11. Oh, I've put him on the spot. We haven't even introduced him yet, have we?
Aye,
and already I'm putting him on edge. We'll come to say good evening in a moment, but before I forget my train of thought, because you know what I'm like, in the grand scheme of percents, how are we doing with shipping the parcels? Are we at 10% out the door, 20% out the door, higher, lower? Where are we?
About 90, I think.
90? My goodness. Okay, so if you're not familiar now, I know you probably know this already, but Hobbymaker actually give us 11 working days to ship your orders. And that's from like the day after the order comes through. So you order in the daytime, they get sent through at midnight. We actually get them about 6 in the morning the next day. And then we have 11 working days to send your orders out to you. Now, we always try to impress you because that's our job here. But if 90% have already left the warehouse, bearing in mind we only had Friday and Monday to get that done, and you know it was a busy show, it was sellout after sellout after sellout, lots of you are going to have them coming to you very soon, but it does mean there's 10% that are still going to get theirs very early, because I'm pretty sure by the sounds of it, they're going to leave us in the next couple of days too. I would like to think. I'm getting a nod from the corner. All sounds good. Now, the corner is nodding. The corner is speaking. Before we say good evening to you all, shall we say hello to the corner, see what he's up to, see what mood he's in tonight? Oh, let's hit the right button. We've changed the buttons again this evening. Hello, corner. How are we doing?
Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm in the naughty corner as always. Nothing changes, does it? So, but yeah, hope you're all okay. We're all doing good, I think, aren't we, James?
Any news from the naughty corner this week?
No, I don't think so.
Nothing you're going to share or tease us with? Confess? I don't know.
I feel I'm put on the spot. No, I don't think so.
No, nothing
No.
we're going to give away. Maybe we might as the evening goes on, as the old cogs start turning in us.
I might dob you in on some things.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty to dob me in over, actually. So stick with us and we'll see what confessions and dobbins we can get throughout the evening. Now, before we chat all things diamond, let's say hello to everybody. So good evening, Kim. Good evening, Kathleen. Good evening, Deborah, Emma, Alison, Sue. It was lovely to see you on Saturday. Really was. I thought afterwards we should have got a picture together. Never even thought of it. Not good enough. Good evening, Yvonne. Good evening, Kim. Kim says it's all fine there. So does Kathleen. Thank you very much. So does Yvonne. Good evening, Sue. Pauline. Hadrian's Hobbies. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us this evening. Sue, lovely to have you here. Good evening, Kim. Siobhan, Rosie and Wendy, lovely to have you all joining us this evening. Thank you very much for being here with us. Now then, diamonds. Diamonds are meant to be forever, but they are selling rather quickly. And that also applies to our stockists too, because I can tell you already some of the diamonds collection sold out now at HQ, and that means it's en route to stockists for tomorrow's 10 a.m. launch. But when you've all got your orders in and it's been a busy day, which we predict tomorrow will be, I have a feeling next time I appear in front of you, I'm going to be telling you some of those items are now out of stock and won't be back for 5 to 6 weeks. Now, as always, this isn't a pressure thing, because as I've just said, they will return, they will come back. But if you're in a hurry to get your hands on the diamonds and you haven't already done it with Hobby Maker, you might want to pay attention to the list I'm going to give you right now, because when they've started to sell out at these stockists we mentioned, you might have to scramble about a bit to find a stockist that still has them if you want them anytime in the next month and a half while we wait for our reorder to come back in. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, because you know we like to be truthful. We have already reordered them, haven't we? After seeing the shows on Hobby Maker, after seeing how wild they've been going to the stockists, we have a feeling that we're going to need more of them. But we know we're going to need more of them. So we now have about a 6-week wait till they will return. So if you do want to get hold of them, pop a pen and paper to one side right now, or pick it up actually, because I'm going to tell you where you can get them. So tomorrow morning at 10 a.m, the brand new Diamonds collection will be launching with Dragons Paper Crafts, Unicorn Crafts, Craft Bliss, Julia Watts Crafts, Glitter Bits, Gilly's Crafts, The Art of Craft, Affordable Crafting, Cheshire Crafts, and Craftmania. Now, of course, some of these items that we're going to talk about this evening are still available for you to order right now, even before the 10 a.m. launch tomorrow, because of they're available from Hobby Maker. But Hobby Maker do have very limited stocks, if any stocks, of the items that we're going to be chatting through, because not only do we have the diamond collection to talk about this evening, we also have the incredible new pearl card. And I was literally, if you look at my hands, I'm covered in inks because I was playing with things literally minutes ago before we went live to share with you. Something I keep saying I wanted to share with you and I haven't, so I've made it happen, and we're going to demo it this evening for you. So that is your little list of places you can track these down here in the UK. You can also track them down at Picture Stamps in New Zealand as well. So there is an international stockist on the list as well. And I'm sure there's going to be more stockists trying to come in for the bits and bobs that they can get their hands on in the coming days. So we'll try and keep you updated with that list as the days and the weeks go on if we can. But as I mentioned, I have a feeling a lot of this is going to be very hard to come by within the next sort of 48 hours. So don't dilly-dally if you like the look of it. Now, as I do like to give you a time and date, just in case you're watching this video afterwards. So the official launch date for stockists is 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the 17th of March 2026. If you've come to this video as a upload to our YouTube channel after that, or later on Facebook, then it will now be available. But until that time and date, you're not going to find it anywhere but on Hobby Maker. So Peter, do we have any more questions or bits before we get diving into having a little look at this collection?
No, I think so.
Very good. If you do have questions this evening, then please do jump on in and tell us or ask us. We will do our very best to answer them for you. Now, before actually we do delve into that, and it's good to actually give you a bit of a update, we like to tell you when things come back in stock, a bit like the Diamonds collection. We're saying to you it's going to be a few weeks till it comes back. This is exactly the kind of timelines we're chatting about. Recently, we had rather the run on our daisy lace squares and circles. I can officially tell you they have re-entered the warehouse and they are back in stock. So again, keep an eye out on your stockists. I'm sure they will be announcing their return in the coming days. But if you haven't seen these, if you'd like to get hold of these, if you've been waiting patiently for these, the circle code is JRCD0188. And the squares, this is the one that was sold out the fastest, and we've been waiting for it for weeks to come back in. We even had a question last week about when is it coming back in on our live. Happy to tell you it is now here, JRCD0189. Now, with a similar note, our decollage circles and our decollage rectangles are once again back in stock as well. You'll know that these were on the show the other day, as on Thursday. They are now back in as well because they sold out again, but we luckily had more en route. So these ones are JRCD0022 and 0032 for the rectangles. back again. And then on top of that, another one that has sold out that is returned in our top-up delivery is our Rippled Blooms die, which is JRCD0063. And that is a one-plate die which brings you all of your flowers in one cut through the machine. And it's a very popular, this one, because it's part of our debossed detailed flowers, which look incredible when cut. So they are all now returning in stock, as well as the new goodies we're going to be chatting to you about next. So that's a bit of knowledge about those, a little bit of news. Now, I mentioned Pearl Card. I think we should start with this evening. So there is brand new Pearl Card goodness to share with you. And I'm going to run through the colours properly, actually. There is Royal Blue, there is Steel Blue, Rose Gold, Vintage Gold. Oh, I'm going to fall off my screen. There's too many colours to go through. There is Titanium, Royal Purple, Royal Green. I'll try and fan these out a bit better in a second. Mint Green, Ruby Red, Baby Pink, Ivory, and lastly, Ice White. Now, these are all brand new colours of Pearl Card. These are coming to you under the jamierodgerscrafts brand of card. So we already do a Pearl Card under Foundations that has a coloured core to it. This one is a white core. Now I'm going to try and demo for you in a little while that is a really lovely feature to have in your card collection, and why we've bought two versions of Pearl Card to you. Now the recommended retail price for this is £4 per packet, and there is, or £3.99, but £4. Who's going to split hairs over a penny, Peter? £4 a packet, 10 sheets per packet, 270 GSM, and as I mentioned, it has that wonderful white core to it, which opens up a whole world of possibilities. I'll show you more about what I mean by that shortly, but that's one of our new goodies that is going to be at the stockist I mentioned earlier. And then our diamond collection. Let's have a little look through these quickly, because I want to try and fit in some demos for you this evening, and we might look at some samples a little later on as well. So these are our mats and layers diamonds. There are 5 different sets to these. And each one of these comes with not only your edges, but your pierced or your stitch or your detail line, other than the plain, which actually gives you double the amount of dies within it. On top of that, you also, of course, get the corner elements to go around it, and they open up a whole world of possibilities. They can be used on their own or, of course, in conjunction with the diamonds. And as you probably know by now, with our mats and layers collections, when we talk about these stitch lines, these pierced lines that come with each of the different sets, they're completely interchangeable. So you can take that stitch line and you can put it into this one, or you can take that dash line and put it into this one, or you can take that dash line and put it into the plain ones. Everything interchanges as much as physically possible to give you as many options as you can. And not only that, you can of course use them independently too. So all of those stitches and dashes that you find throughout the sets can of course be used directly into your cardstock to make some really lovely patterns, or be used in conjunction with the outside edges, or of course the outside edges can be used on their own if you prefer. Now the recommended retail prices for each of these sets is £22.99, which I'm sure you're going to agree is incredible value given the fact that each one of these sets has a whopping 28 dies per set. Now, whenever we talk about die pricing, I'm always really pleased if we can bring it to you that it works out at £1 per die, whatever the size, whatever the shape. So these ones, £22.99, but you're actually receiving 28 dies per set, brings that price way lower than £1 per die. I ain't even going to attempt to work out what it is, but value for money wise, it's off the charts. And these are nice sized dies. The largest in these is 5.1 by 7.8 inches. So they're big enough to make our card blanks out of, they're big enough to make our focals out of, but they also go down really, really tiny to be able to make all of our little background panels and bunting effects and all of them kind of pieces with as well. Now, not only in the diamond collection are we bringing you the mats and layers to, of course, build up our diamond-esque elements, we're bringing you focal points as well. So with those, we have got the honeycomb diamond, the damask diamond, the stripe diamond, and the sunflower diamond. Now with these ones, we of course have a main focal panel in the middle. Now that does not have an attached edge to it, it has a separate edge. And then we have 4 coordinating corners that again do not have attached edges, they are separate. So you can do lots of different techniques with them. Now each one of these has 10 dies within their sets, and these ones are a recommended retail price of $19.99 per set. As you can imagine, these have been proving very, very, very popular indeed, especially when we start teaming them with our mats and layers throughout the sets and our different corners and our different stitches and our different edges. Now with these, we also have a matching sunflower die set, because you're going to spot within this one the sunflower diamond. There are sunflowers in each of the panels, and I wanted to bring you the sunflower set that meant you could layer up and build these up so that you can create lovely 3D effects on top of these. Now if you don't wish to, there's lots of debossing going on that die set on its own, so you can of course use it as it is. But if you do want to build it up, then this is the set to do it with, because you've got the different sizes, you've got the flower centres, and you've got the leaves, and you've even got a stalk, so you can build that into a separate sunflower if you wish to. We've done it on 3 different dies for you, so you can cut your flowers, your centres, and of course your stems and foliage, all in different colours without having to do it all repetitively. You can do them individually if you wish to. Now the recommended retail price for this set is $14.99, so it's a great price point to be able to get all of those elements to build up on top of that sunflower diamonds if you wish to. Then the last element within this release, and probably one of my favourites, and I think one of yours too, I know this sold out on Hobby Maker, and I also believe this is the first item that sold out with trade as well, or our stockists as well, I should say. So again, this one I think you're going to struggle to get hold of very, very soon if you haven't already got it on order, or of course if you don't get on it early tomorrow. This of course is the Bee Meadow set. So here we have our DL set of stamps, which has got "Just buzzing by to say, thinking of you, hi, be happy and happy birthday," along with lots of bee related images. So we've got our branch, we've got our beehive, we've got our bees, all in different setups, including a little collection. What do we call a collection of bees? You're going to have to tell me in the comments. What's
Swarm.
a collection? Swarm, maybe? Do we go with the swarm?
Go with the swarm.
Crows is a murder, isn't it? It's pretty much the only one I ever remember. There's a few others, but I can only ever remember the murder of crows. What are the others? You're going to have to help us out. Tell us in the comments what ones you remember of names of groups of animals, and we can see if there's any new ones to us. There is of course some little foliage pieces in here as well, and then you've got your dies to coordinate with all of the main pieces. The recommended retail price for that set is $19.99, which I'm sure you're going to agree is great value, considering normally our DL sets of stamps are $11.99 on their own, so it means that you're getting your set of stamps and then you're only paying £8 for all of those dies. This is why we do them in sets. It means that we can keep the price down for you to give you even better value for money across the board, because as I'm sure you can see, you'd normally pay a lot more than £8 for all of those dies on their own. If you bring in this set alone, just to give you a comparison in size, we know that set's £15, so that should be slightly higher than £15 just for the dies on their own. It's our way of trying to make it as inexpensive as we possibly can do for you guys. So that is a little overview of all of the fun and goodness that is coming to you in the diamond collection. If anyone has any comments, pop them in, and Pete will do his very best to read them out for us, and I'll try my best to answer them for you. Now, before we move on to some proper demos, because I want to try and fit in some proper demos for you, I want to share with you what I've been doing with this here pearl card. So let me find my pieces, because I was just doing this seconds before we went live, genuinely, hence why I haven't even had a chance to wash my hands. So with our pearl card, I wanted to try and emboss it for an embossing folder, because I hadn't done that till now. I keep talking about all these different things we can do with them, but I hadn't actually really tried it. So I'm going to bring in this one. This is the interlocking squares. Now this isn't a new folder. This is a nice original folder from Creative Expressions, and I've taken our lovely purple and I've gone and embossed it. And all I'm going to do is sand off the top, and this is why we talk about having a white core. If we sand, we're going to reveal that white core, which is a great look even left on its own. But I always love this. I'm going to try and do this a bit quicker. The noise, I bet, is quite annoying as well, actually. I didn't think ahead to the noise, but this is just an ordinary sanding block. There are some craft brands that do sanding blocks, I know, but this one is just a DIY sanding block. We don't need to be too particular. We just need to take off that top layer of the colour of pearl, leaving in all of them indentations the colour behind. Now you might think, oh, this is new, I've not seen this before. I cannot take credit for sanding back cardstock. 20 odd years ago, I can remember there was a brand, I'd name it, I can't remember what it was called, but they did loads of different types of white core card that you could sand. I think one was called Gemstones, actually, thinking back. Was it Basil? Maybe it was Basil, I can't remember. But nevertheless, they used to do this card that you could sand back and reveal the white core in it. So when this was available to us, I was like, we need to get this, because it means that we can do some really fun techniques with it. Of course, it means we can sand it like I am here to reveal that white core, but it also means once we've sanded it, we can do more to it. So let's just brush that off, take off that excess sanded bit from our area and go back to where we are. Now, I was meant to bring in a tray for this, Peter, and I forgot my tray. Do you want to rescue me and grab a tray quickly, please, while I find what I want next? Because what we're going to do after we've sanded it back is we're going to bring in a colour, and we're going to go for a mica mist, and we're going to add some colour to this area. Because the second we've revealed that white core, it's now down to us what we want to colour it with, if we choose to. And we absolutely don't have to. We can, of course, leave it with that really lovely whiteness showing through. And of course, we've still maintained that lovely pearl. Pearl is still in all of those other areas. Now, you think of all of the embossing folders you have. Oh, Peter, it's got to be a dirty tray. That's not good, is it? It's got to be a dirty tray, not a clean one. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. We're going to give this a mist over the top with our mica mist. And you can let this set if you prefer. But actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to start wiping this away. Because everywhere that that lovely mica mist sits, where that liquid goes in, it's going to absorb into that colour. And we can start just paring this back and revealing that the pearl will repel the colour, but the white will take it on. And hopefully already you can start to see how that colour is going to dry in that white area and give us a really lovely look. Now here is one I did literally about half hour ago, maybe not even that long. How gorgeous is this? Now this one, of course, is with a different folder. This one is the Blossom Reef. So I've taken the Blossom Reef, I've done exactly the same as we've just seen. I've taken it, I've sanded it, and then we bring it in and we add some colour to it. Now this, of course, is that lovely navy cardstock. So we could just go with that instead, leaving that kind of light blue shine through. Doesn't that look beautiful? It looks like we've done some really clever technique there, and all we've done is sanded it. We've not done anything tricky. We've just sanded it back. That was easy, wasn't it? We can all do that. Everyone can do that. We can't do that wrong, any of us, can we? But let's bring in some colour and add to that one. So shall we go for a different colour? Oh, I'm digging. Give me a moment. Let's go for Smoky Pearl, shall we? And we're going to give that a little activate, get that ball bearing doing some magic. And then we'll mist this one over the top as well. So this is our kind of slatey grey shade. And there was already a bit of that slatey greyness coming through. Now you could leave this and see how it dries, but I think we're going to find that that pearl repels the colour. So we're going to go in and we're going to blot that away. And we're going to let it colour all of that beautiful sanding. Now already that's looking a bit yummy, isn't it? Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look gorgeous? Do you like this? Have you seen this done before? Because this is something I really like doing, especially with pearl card. I've been doing this for absolutely years. Now, I'm going to be honest, I think it was Sheena Douglas that showed us this first with pearl card. I might be wrong, but I think it is that long ago that I remember seeing her do it, probably 10, 15 years ago. But isn't that really beautiful? That kind of cloudy pearlescent finish. Now, if I remember rightly, or if I remember to, I'll bring these in towards the end and I'll show you what we've created with them. But it doesn't just have to be with our mists. We can do this with other products as well. Basically anything that is water-based. So if we bring these two back in, these of course are the lovely interlocking squares. And I'm going to bring in an ink pad for this. We'll use the purple, the royal purple from our metallic inks. And we're not going to worry about if we get into the gaps, because again, that pearl card is pretty much going to repel it. So we can add our colour over the top of this and then just buff it away, buff away the excess. And I've got one of these that's already dried and set as well. I'll share that with you in a moment. Now, Pete, while I'm covering with ink, did anyone give us any other animal collection names? Can we get educated this evening? What have the grand public shared with us? I know they're a clever bunch. I bet there's one or two in there that have come up with something we don't know about. That ain't hard, but I'm sure there is. What have we got?
There's an awful lot.
Come on then.
I don't know if they're correct or not. So
Pardon?
I'm sure they are, but there's lots of different variations. But Hazel, she says, evening Hazel.
Evening Hazel.
Mason, she says, has Jamie been at the tea towel drawer again?
I have. This is my art. Look at it. This is what the budgets are like at Creative Expressions. Look at it. This is my tea towel. I think I deserve a new tea towel. I think this one has done its time. Years left. This is what I have to put up with. You will as well.
I would.
You will as well.
Anyway, so yes, what have we got? So be prepared to be educated. There's lots of different versions of a parliament. So
a parliament, of course. But is that birds?
Is it owls? Alice said it could be owls. Jasmine says it could be rooks. Parliament of rooks. The coalition of cheetahs. Conspiracy of lemurs. A cauldron of bats. I think we're getting carried away. A waddle of penguins. I like.
A waddle of penguins. I like that one.
Tower of giraffes. See, I don't know if any of these are true or not.
I'm sure they are.
They could be pulling anyway.
We have a very educated audience. I'm sure that they know more than we do.
The gaggle of geese. Now I've heard of that one. Kim, I like this one. A bloat of hippos. See, didn't we educate last Monday?
I am attempting a little bit of education.
This is Education Monday.
This is for us, because we don't get much chance to actually become intelligent left on our own devices.
No.
So I've decided each week we're going to ask a series of questions to see if me and you can up our educational limits. Any others?
We've got a dazzle of zebras. Skulk of foxes. Oh, it sounds like I'm making a spell or something, doesn't it?
Does a bit, doesn't it? You will always have given me that wizardy witch vibe.
Wow. A kaleidoscope of butterflies. Now there's a name for a stencil.
That is a name of a stencil.
So yeah, there's lots of suggestions. I'm going back to your core card back in the day that was made. Siobhan and Kim both say coordinations, they think.
Oh, it was but who made it? That's going to bug me.
Gemstones was a metallic version.
Yeah, Gemstones was, and then they did a white
There was
one. They
also
did lots
Basil
of different
Bling.
ones. I think it might have been Basil Bling. I did mention Basil, didn't I? I have a memory like a sieve, so I'm glad you're all here to help me, because I genuinely do struggle with my memory. It's not great anymore. Used to be, but now it's shot to pieces. So thank you very much. That is a little overview of what you could be creating with the pearl card. And that was just a few colours. And as I say, I literally started doing these like 10 minutes before we went live. I was like, I'm going to have to try this, see what it looks like. Because I did, on the demo, we just did an amazing demo over the weekend. If you missed us kind of talking about it, or if you didn't make it along, we did an amazing demo at Gwen's. It was really good fun. And Pete, I know I've already had you running around. Can you go get my tub of pearl card? Because I've left it in my room from where I was doing then. Sorry. But I want to show you something else with it that we can do, because I thought that was kind of fun too. So over the weekend, we went up to the stamp pad in Saddleworth, which is Gwen, our lovely Gwen Fletcher's actual own store. And we had a bit of a demo day there, and it was such a laugh. Honestly, it was such a joy, because there was me, obviously. Pete come along. Pete ran the little kind of stall in the corner for the shop, which was fun. And then we had Francois Reed from Woodware, of course, you know Francoise. More about what she's up to next later on. Don't let me forget, I'll tell you some bits of bobs about what she's doing next. Then we, of course, had Gwen demonstrating as well, some of Sue's lovely dyes. And then Carla Bagshaw was there. Did you see her show this evening? I posted about it. Lovely new colour swatch dye. I was very lucky. I got to take one home on Saturday, and I've been really looking forward to playing with it. I haven't had a chance yet, but I want to. Really cool swatch dye. They just sold out on Hobby Maker, if any of you is watching. I'm so pleased to see that for Carla. So lovely to see it doing well. It's her very first dye she's ever done. And then, of course, Sharon Curtis was there as well. And so was the very lovely Jo Rice from Lavinia Stamp. So all 6 of us had a great day kind of playing and creating. And the others were braver than I am. They all did make and take sessions as well. But I tried to dodge that bullet. I'm not good at that. So I tried to get out of the way of that one, and it successfully worked. But everybody else did a make and take and kind of had great fun on the day. So if you did make it along, thank you very much for coming. If you didn't make it along, do not fear. I'm sure Gwen will have another one in Saddleworth very, very soon. But if you are keeping up with our tour up and down the country, Gwen is off on her merry journeys once again very soon. She is off to Craft Bliss on Saturday the 28th of March. I'll remind you of this a little later on, but she will be taking lots of our most recent collections with her on that day for a day filled full of fun and techniques. Now, I know lots of you went to the Craft Bliss demo last year. It was last year now, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm in the right year. Yeah, last year, and really, really enjoyed it. So I know that they're looking forward to having her back, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to pop along and support Gwen and support Craft Bliss on that day and have a good old-fashioned time with them all, because I know that they really do look forward to their demo days. Okay, is there any questions, Pete, or can we do our first demo with this collection? Now we've got Inky, shall we do something a bit smarter and a bit more fun? Oh, that's what I was going to share with you. I'll do that as well, but if there's any questions, don't hesitate to yell them out, Pete. So the first thing we're going to do, or before we do our first thing we're going to go back to this pearl card before I forget, because I will forget. So the pearl card, obviously you now know it has that core to it. It also means that when we tear it, we get this lovely white core coming through it as well. And just like we just did with our inks on the embossing folders, we can do exactly the same to that edge too. So I've purposely torn that with a nice wide edge to it, because if we come back in again with our misters, or if we go in with our blending inks, we can go in and we can add colour to that and end up with this beautiful metallic edge to coordinate with our card. So whether we want to do some vintage effects, whether we want to do some nice elegant effects, whether we're looking at this and thinking we want to do Christmas effects, the choice is yours, but it does give you that ability to go in and colour that edge beautifully. Now again, inks might work really nicely. Should we go back into this one? I'm never going to have a clean desk this evening, am I? Keep getting clean and then going back in and getting messy. Now I'm doing this direct from pad. You might wish to do this with a blending brush instead, but actually it's kind of nice to see that texture of that come through, isn't it? And then over the top of that, maybe if we are thinking Christmas, this green always makes me think of Christmas, but if we are thinking Christmas, maybe we want to do that red core to begin with, and then let's go back to those misters. I'm getting a bit mister heavy this evening, aren't I? Maybe we'll go back into them, maybe with a white pearl. We'll add that in, because the oxides are going to be water-based. They're going to play around in that water quite nicely. So actually adding on the pearl is going to give that oxide a nice white finish to it, and blot off down the edge here again, just so that's nice and crisp and clean. And then I don't think you're going to see the pearl come through on that as well. So actually, let's do a bit of the copper over the top of it as well, so that we end up with a nice sheen. And then we'll see how they dry again, and I'll bring them in a little later on if I remember. Don't let me forget. Memory like a sieve, I've told you. I've warned you. There are limits to the memory. It's not good. So I'll leave that there, and we'll put that one in there, and we'll come back to them a little later on, along with that other panel that we did. But already you can see how they're drying, and we're now adding that pearl colour into that white area. Pete, I'm going to give them to you. See if you remind me later, if we can remember, and we'll have a little look. So this is the first card that I thought we would do for you, if that's okay. And of course, as always, we're going to give you the chance to win what we're creating this evening. So what I would like to know tonight And I haven't told Pete the answer for this yet either, so I must remember to tell him the answer before he has to pick a winner. If not, that's not going to work, is it? So my question this evening for you, all we've got to answer is A or B. Which is the hardest natural material? Are you ready for this? Is it A, diamond, hence the question, or B, gold? Now don't Google it because that's going to ruin the fun. Do you think the hardest natural material is A, diamond, or B, gold? Are you signalling? What were you signalling?
My answer.
Yeah, but I didn't see all that. All I see in the corner of my eye is you go. So what was that in English?
You give me the options. I can't give it away to the audience, can I?
Well, one or two could work for you, couldn't it? Oh, okay. Not going to tell him if he's right or wrong. I should have made him form an A. You could have done a bit of YMCA for me over in the corner.
Lord.
Oh yeah, we don't need to do that, do we?
No.
Okay, so get your answers in while we're making this card. A or B is all I need to know, and Pete will pick one lucky winner to win this card at the end of the live this evening. Now, don't forget, if you are watching this after the event, then the competition will, of course, have closed. You would be amazed how many times we get people message in 3 or 4 days later to enter. And my heart always sinks because I don't like you to think you're going to win something if it's already closed. So to enter our competitions, you do, of course, need to be with us live on a Monday evening at 7 p.m. on the Creative Expressions Facebook page. If you're watching anywhere else at any other stage, then that competition is now closed and you're not going to win, which is horrible. So try and join us if you can live to enter. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out some of our beautiful flowers, and this is just really an excuse for me to show you how lovely this rose gold card is. So I'm going to bring in the sunflower die. We're going to bring in some of our card and we're going to send this through our machine. Now the joy of this die is not only will it cut, it will also deboss for us. So when we see all of this detail coming through on our flower, everything's going to happen in one easy pass through that machine. Now, not only are we going to be using the flowers, we're also going to be bringing in that sunflower panel. We're also going to be bringing in our dragonflies as well. Now, this again was one of the dies that we had available on the shows on Hobby Maker, but it is a die that's been out a little while. So if you haven't already got it, you might well be able to track it down at one of our stockists. Now, this, of course, is the Elegant Dragonfly, JRCD0128. Now, I know that Hadrian's Hobbies are with us this evening, but do we have any other stockists with us this evening as well? And if Hadrian's Hobbies are still here as well, please don't hesitate to pop a link in the comments to tell us where we can get the items we're talking about this evening. Maybe it is, of course, where that diamond collection is going to be visible tomorrow morning at 10 a.m, or maybe it is where those dragonflies are already, or maybe you've got a dedicated Creative Expressions or Jamie Rodgers Crafts page that you'd like to share with us so we know where to go to find all of the bits and bobs we're talking about this evening. Now, as you can see, that card has cut beautifully. It is also debossed beautifully for us. So these flowers really are very easy to form and very easy to build up. Now, all I'm going to do is bring in a paintbrush, and we're just going to go round the edges, just using the other end of the paintbrush to round them out. Simple as that. And then we're going to give them a little curve up to the centre. And then very quickly and easily, we would just bring in the next layers down and keep on building that up. And it really is as simple as this to build this sunflower into a beautiful flower. Now, of course, it is a sunflower, but I always say this, as so many others with flowers, it's down to the colours we do them in, really, isn't it? To the effects that we want to create with them and the flower that we kind of want to perceive that they're going to be. So if you don't wish to have them in traditional sunflower colours and you wish to go off and create a more bespoke flower with them, then experiment with your shades and see what you can create. But exactly the same with the smaller elements, we're just going to round those and then we would bring those in and pop them down into the centre and just keep building up our layers. So for mine, I'm going to use the solid base, 2 of the larger layers and then 2 of the smaller layers to go in the centre of that. How is the vote going? Is it A or B that's winning currently, Pete?
Definitely A.
Ooh.
Lots of A's.
Wow. I'm not giving anything away from over here. I didn't know the answer, but I'm sure that won't surprise you all. I had no idea when I see the question. I was like, I've got no idea about the answer to this one. And that's, again, kind of fun because it means that I was hoping that not everybody would naturally know it off the top of their head. Okay, let's delve into the next layers down, shall we? So for this card, we're also going to be using the corner dies. Now these corner dies come to us with the scalloped and the pierced set. So we're going to bring in these outside edges. We're then going to bring in that pierced detail that runs around the centre of it. And again, we often talk about this, but this is why we bring you separate edges to our pierced and scalloped pieces. Because what we're then going to do is we're going to bring in that middle part to these. And we're going to do a few of these at once because we can. There's no reason why we can't. So we'll spread that over there slightly. And then we're going to bring in the next set. And then we could repeat that and do all 4 of these. So value for money wise, we're going to get a lot of cuts out of one piece of card. And we can place all of these in. And then these corners, maybe we're going to use these as photo corners. Maybe we're going to use these as decorations to go around an oval instead of a diamond. Maybe we're going to tuck different bits into them instead. It doesn't have to be that we're doing these necessarily to coordinate with a diamond. And we'll do these from navy because we can, because we've got that navy to hand. Send that through. Now, of course, for my ones, I went for the white ones, but it's really nice to share things with you in different colours to give you different ideas. And it's nice for you to see them being cut live. We're doing well tonight, Pete. We've not given away any secrets yet, and we're already kind of about 40 minutes in.
There's still time.
There is still time. Should we give them one little,
here we
little
go.
update?
I'm just to distract you. I'm going to say evening to Mandy. The lovely Mandy
Good
from Affordable
evening,
Crafting is
Mandy.
in the house.
Affordable Crafting is, of course, one of the places you're going to be able to track down these brand new goodies tomorrow. I have a feeling that their order may have already arrived, and if it hasn't, it won't be far away, I'm sure. We're going to give this off to Pete, and we're going to let him put all of those back on that board for us while he sits over there, just looking through the comments as he does. Pardon?
Looking pretty.
I don't know about that. Now, of course, these can be spread out into lots of different shapes. And not only can we spread these out into different shapes, we can, of course, make different patterns out of them. So maybe we're going to bring these in and we're going to use these as a pattern. Or maybe we're going to turn them into little cubes that we're going to build up. And maybe we're going to do 3 or 4 of them as a background on a card. There's endless ways that we can play with these and build these out to make fun patterns and backgrounds with them, as well as, of course, framing them in the same way that we're going to be doing for this card. So play and explore with them. And if you've got the other sizes, maybe you've got the plain ones of these, you can put in a little plain aperture into the middle of there and then sink a different colour into it, for instance. Or you could do a different pattern coming down in these corners. Or you could bring in one of the other patterns, as in like the sunflower corners, and put those in the opposites with that scalloped outside edge to it if you would prefer. So lots of ways you're going to be able to play with them to make up some fun backings. Now for our card, we're going to keep this relatively simple. We're going to bring in our card blank. We're going to bring in some of our dries clear glue. So I'm going to be using our jamierodgerscrafts clear drying glue for this card. And we're sticking to that rose gold colour scheme. So we're going to do our first layer, add in some glue onto this, and placing that down onto the card blank. And then from there, we're going to build up these corners. So these ones, of course, are the ones that we've cut from white card instead of the blue. I just show you them being cut in blue, but we're going to use our 1mm foam tape. And we're going to place these on all 4 corners throughout the card blank.
Did you see how I distracted him? He was about to give away a secret.
Was
and
I?
He's forgotten about it.
Was I?
Because he's naughty, giving away secrets.
Would I? So Kim asks a question.
She does.
Kim, the answer to your question is maybe, but that's all I'm saying right now. Maybe.
Let me go and find...
Maybe. Not in the next few weeks, but maybe in the not too distant future. But what's coming in the next few weeks is rather exciting too. And that will take me back to what I was going to give you a little hinty sneaky about. So Wednesday evening at 7 p.m, if you would like to join me back here, we are going to be having a little look at the brand new Woodware collection from Francois Reed ahead of her shows that are coming up on Hobby Maker next week. So it's always my pleasure to be able to do the sneaky peeks for Francois. So if you are around on Wednesday, do join me for that, because I've seen some of the samples that have come back from the DT and they are rather beautiful. So if you can join me Wednesday, 7 p.m, we're going to have an extra live this week to share with you the sneaky peek of the new Woodware collection. Now, I can't go giving away hints and bits because Pete will get angry with me, but I am going to tell you it's beautiful, it's very cool, and it's fun. Well, I don't know if fun's the right word. What do you reckon? Fun? Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to say no more, but join me Wednesday to find out more. So this is the sunflower diamond that we're going to bring in next. And we're going to, again, cut it from our rose gold card. And we've cut it with that outside edge so it coordinates. Now, straight away there, you can see actually drop shadow in that with white behind it. Wouldn't that look rather yummy? Or maybe some gold mirror card to bring out that gold that's within the rose gold card. Could look lovely too. But we're going to use it just on that white scalloped pierced diamond. And we're going to place that down in the centre, and then we're going to build up from there around it. So I didn't actually want to use the sunflower in the centre, and this is something I love about this design. You don't have to stick with it having that sunflower in the middle. If you wanted to put a poinsettia over that, if you wanted to bring in a different flower, if you wanted to cover the flower in its entirety, choice is yours. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring in this diamond, again from the scalloped and pierced set, and we're going to place that over the top. Now suddenly, that panel takes on a completely different look, doesn't it? Just by covering up that flower, just by taking it off in a different direction. Now, of course, even with the flower in place, if that's what you choose, we could choose which way off this card goes. We could go for the landscape or the portrait, depending on how we want for it to be. Now, we're going to be using one of our sentiments. Now, this, of course, is one of the sentiments from Sue Wilson. And again, these were available on the shows on Hobby Maker this week. And we never really spoke about them on the show. But if you are planning on doing a Hobby Maker shop anytime soon, these are a great bargain price on there. They're only $9.99, if I remember rightly, for all three. Now, Pete, are you going to help me out here? What's the recommended retail price for one of these normally? Am I $5.49, $4.99?
£5, I believe.
About £5 roughly.
They're about 14-ish.
So it's kind of, and I can't remember exactly, so don't shoot me if I've got this wrong, but you're kind of looking about buying two and getting one free-ish, somewhere in that region, not drastically off, even if it is off a little bit. There are three in the pack. You've got You're Too Kind, You Are So Special, and You Make My Heart Bloom. And each one of these has two layers. So you've got your wording and then you've got your outside edge running around it. It's great because it gives you that ability to layer them up if you want to, but you don't have to if you don't wish to. And Gwen has a great tip with you on these. I'm going to see if I can find one of them on my boards so I can bring it in and kind of share the idea with you that Gwen often shares. So Gwen will say to you, if you cut your backing plate out of your white card and then you cut your words, leave your words in place in the die. Bring your glue in, dot it across the letters, and then place it back over that white cutout. Now you can even leave your white cutout inside your outside die. You can then place that down, poke through the holes with your pokey tool, and then when you remove this top die, your words are perfectly spaced and in place in that white cutout, which is how I get mine quite neat. I'm not going to say they're perfect. I never think anything I do is perfect, but they're nicely spaced out without me having to put them in place individually. And that, I believe, is one of Gwen's original tips. I've not seen anybody else do that before, but it does work, and it is a really easy way to make sure everything is spaced out and perfectly aligned. So that was the set we're using. We're going to be using You Make My Heart Bloom, which is CED SS049. Now, of course, you're going to find lots of these, not only these three, but loads of these different shadow sentiments available from lots and lots of our stockists. So you might wish to check out the stockists to see other versions of them as well. Now, I think it might be nice, as we're making this live, to go off on a different tangent and bring this across the base and actually turn this card into a landscape instead of a portrait. because it's nice to show a point of difference, isn't it? So we're going to do that. We're going to bring in our dragonfly. Now our dragonfly has already been built up with a couple of layers here. We're going to take off that crystal off of the bottom there because we're changing the plan. And we're going to bring that in and we're going to place that in the middle. Now I am actually quite happy with that without the flowers, but we do of course have a couple of flowers. So do we want the flowers on there? I think the flowers actually make it a bit heavy. Maybe we could bring them over this side instead. Maybe offset to the left with those, or maybe leave them off. What do we think? On or off? Pete, do you have a preference, on or off?
On, maybe?
On we're going with. So we're going to go off to the right, do we think? Tuck them in down there. I think that's quite nice having them coming out from underneath the sentiment. And it does tie in that gold hue that we've created and balance it out. But whether you go for the landscape or the portrait, whether you go for the flowers or not the flowers, whether you go for the rose gold or maybe do that in that lovely soft mint, whatever way you go, this card is going to look rather yummy because it's just a beautiful layout with beautiful products that is hopefully going to help you get really creative really easily and really enjoy what you're making. And it's kind of nice to show it to you in two different styles, isn't it? So it is, of course, the landscape one that we're going to send out to our first winner this evening for question number 1. Now, if you haven't already answered, let us know in the comments which is your answer. Diamond question for this is, which is the hardest natural material? Is it A, diamond, or B, gold? A, diamond, or B, gold? Now let us know in the comments and we will of course pick one lucky winner to win that card. Now something else I haven't run past you yet, Peter. Today I thought we should have 2 winners.
Okay.
I think we should have 2 winners. We always have 1 winner, but you know what? I thought it would be more fun if we had 2 winners than 1 winner. So I think that we should do another card and send this one off to somebody different. So I'm going to give you a second question. So you need to get your A's and your B's in before we move on to question number 2. And for question number 2, I think we should do this card. I've just taken out a different one, but I think we should do this card. So that will go off to question number 1. This one can be question number 2. Now I have a feeling that I just see our lovely Tracy comment.
You did.
Now Tracy, as many of you will know, is the lovely lady here who works in our offices at HQ that brings all of our answers to you. She does lots and lots of work on lots of things that you're going to have benefited from. Maybe they're our posts, maybe they're our videos, maybe they're our show proposals for Hobby Maker. Tracy does a little bit of everything. Now Tracy is on holiday this week. So Tracy, please leave the live and go and enjoy your holiday. You're in a beautiful country. You're only there for a few days. Go and enjoy your holiday. The last thing you need is to listen to me waffle on when you could be enjoying the Spanish culture. Now for this one, what we've done to begin with is we've taken a self-adhesive sheet and we've put it out onto a piece of white card. And I've just removed the top layer so that we've got a sticky area. And this is something, and I confessed this on Hobby Maker the other day, I'd never even thought of before. But if we was to go ahead and cut lots and lots of these postage shapes out, we can bring them back in together and actually make what looks like a postage sheet, which is what we're going to do now. And I never thought about this, but you could do this with lots of our different nested shapes. You could do this with the squares. You could do this with the rectangles. You could do this with the octagons. You can, of course, do it with the diamonds. But isn't this a fun way to create a completely different background from our shapes? Now, I will say to Tracy, it's very much showing your dedication that you're joining us on your holiday. And I do hope you're having a lovely time. She said to me today that she was enjoying it and that she was seeing a lot of churches, of touring lots of different churches on her tour.
Wonder if she's got a cocktail in hand.
Oh, I hope so. It is an evening.
Have you got a cocktail in your hand, Tracy?
Is Spain ahead of us or behind us? I'm never too sure anymore.
1 hour ahead, I think.
Are they? Oh, so it's definitely cocktail time then.
Oh, she's off to watch the flamenco.
Oh.
Tracy, you need to join in. We need a video.
We do need a video. Tell us in the comments, would you like to see a video of Tracy doing some flamenco
That
dancing?
could be the question.
That could be a question. That could definitely be a question. Now then, has everybody got their answers in for question number 1 this evening? Do you feel you've got everybody's answers, Peter? Can I bombard you with question number 2?
Yes.
Yeah? You're confident in this?
I am indeed.
Okay, so let me find a pair of scissors because we're going to snip off some of those areas. So question number 2 this evening is...
Tracy says not happening.
Not happening to the floor. Oh, it's okay, that's fair, we understand. So question number 2 to win the card we are now creating is... I can't snip and read, sorry. Which diamond shape is the most popular in the world? Is it A or 1, a round, or 2, a princess? So 1 a round, 2 a princess. We'll keep it different from the A and the B so that we don't get confused. So 1 for round and 2 for princess. Peter, do you have an opinion? You can't answer, but you can give me the fingers, 1 or 2s. Not in a rude way, Peter. Oh, okay, honest truth now. Did you have any idea what I was on about?
I've no idea what he's on about.
No, I didn't either. I had to Google it. I had no idea. What is this princess? What is this round? What does that mean?
All I thought they were something like clarity and different clarities.
Oh no, there were questions
pureness.
We could have gone with that, but that confused the life out of me as well. So I did a little Google to see what this was all about, this round or princess, and it's down to the form of the cut. So a princess cut is when you have like a square diamond on top, but it comes down as a V. So when you get them in them ring casings, they kind of sit within them, and then a round is literally a round from what I could work out. Well, see? A little bit more education.
Monday.
Yeah. We're not only here for the crafty goodness. No, it was Google. I can't for 1 second claim I knew this. So you would do this on a guillotine, I would like to think, but for neat and speed, we're just going to do it with a pair of scissors. So we end up with our nice edges. Oh, I've missed a little bit. Is that going to be big enough? Oh, look at that. I reckon we're going to get away with that. There we go. Did it pop off or did I never do it? I don't know. Either way. There we go. That weren't too bad, wasn't it? Didn't even know if we was going to have enough. So now we have them in place, we can now choose what we're going to do with them. So I wasn't actually going to do this, but I am because I can. We're going to bring in some gilding flakes from my demo tub from Saturday because they're still in here and it would be nice to share them with you in a gilding flake format instead. So in here on Saturday, I was doing a right little mix of colours. We've got some gold, we've got some pink, we've got some purple. There's a little bit of everything going on. I think it might be a nice idea to add in some more because if not, we might end up with some gaps. And I also think we're going to bring in, and we'll lay the panel in place to begin with for this, so we sprinkle them over the top. We'll bring in some atomics glitters as well, just so we get some different variations of product going through into those areas. So that was atomics glitters in Kaleido Violet. Now I want to make sure that we've got some different colours going on in here because if not, we're going to end up with it all being one shade, and I don't really want one shade. I want a few shades to come through. So then we'll bring in some rose quartz glitter as well. And we'll sprinkle a little bit of that over the top. Just so there's some different points of interest running through this. And then maybe, oh, that'd be nice. This is the Atomics Glitters Radiant Embers. So that's one of the colour change ones with all the different shades in it. So we'll sprinkle a little bit of that in some areas too. And that looks quite nice already, doesn't it? I'm getting a bit carried away now with the glitters. I didn't predict this much glitteriness. And then we'll see if we can bring in those colours from the edges. We'll make sure we get a little bit in there, and then we're going to burnish that down into the openings because of course we're on a self-adhesive sheet. So wherever we now add product, it's going to go through into that background and add colour into those apertures and complete our look. Now if you didn't want to, you don't have to. You could of course put talcum powder through here, or cornstarch is often recommended, them kind of materials instead, just to make sure that you end up with something that infills them sticky areas. Or of course you could have glued them on the reverse instead with a PVA or a clear flame glue, something like that, to make sure that they're nice and stuck together if you don't wish to do them on a self-adhesive sheet. Now Peter, I happen to just catch you out the corner of my eye, coming in and stealing my card to have a look at the answer. I call that cheating. Don't you just sit there and snigger. I see you. You were caught.
Oops.
We need to get one of them fancy screens. I think ours can do it actually, where we keep one camera on you at all times on a little screen in the corner, so everybody else can see your little mischievousness that you get up to.
Got me all wrong.
I haven't got you all wrong. 15 years. I know exactly what you're up to over there. Now but problems. Okay, I'm going to see if we can get that in the light. Now, can you see them little glimpses of the atomic glitters coming through? Them little chunks of sparkle hidden within those gilding flakes. Doesn't that look lovely? I'll try and get it so you can see it. It's not always easy, is it? But it gives you a nice little glimpse at those colours running through in all of those kind of markings in between the stamps. Now, you might choose to stamp over the top of this. You might die cut from that panel. You might emboss this panel. You might put it through in an embossing folder and then add some beautiful dimension to the tops of these. You might bring in a stencil and stencil over the top of them instead if you want to. But for mine, I kept them rather plain, which actually, looking back and after coming up with all those ideas, sounds kind of boring. But we're going to stick with it. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the diamond element. And we're going to do very much the same with that. We've taken the damask diamond panel. We've already cut it. We've stuck it onto a self-adhesive sheet so it's nice and sticky. And then we're going to add some colour back into that. So we'll bring back in our tray. And we're going to pick up all of this lot from around the edges. And for this one, we're just going to concentrate more on the flakes that are already in here, so you've added more to it. And we'll burnish those down through all of these areas. Now, of course, the gilding flakes that are already in my tray, these are, of course, a Jamie Rodgers Crafts product. We do 6 different colours of gilding flakes. Again, you're going to find those at lots of stockists already. The glitters we bought in, we had some of the gemstones glitters, we had some of the atomics glitters. They're all, of course, products that are available through Creative Expressions and our wonderful stockists. So we're going to burnish that off over the top again. And that's actually kind of nice because you've got larger areas in there. So you might see some of those glittery bits and flaky areas and different shades coming through to play nicely in the chunkier areas between them. Now, when I did my original, I just used our glitters. So this, of course, was our gemstones glitters that I used on this one. And I believe it is the Violet Sapphire by memory. Violet Sapphire sound right, Pete?
Yeah, it does.
You think after a year I would remember the names, and I never do. Violet Sapphire is this one. So yeah, that's our lovely light lilac, which has been used to create this card. But it's nice to share with you how you could do a very similar effect with those gilding flakes, and of course, as I said, mixing in those different colours. Now, once your panels are created, we're going to move this off to one side, and we're going to bring in the pieces that I have already been working with. So we're going to go onto our card blank. We're going to bring in some of our purple card. Now this, of course, is our new pearl card in that beautiful purple. Now this was the first colour to sell out on Hobby Maker. So that, of course, means we've got slightly lower stock available of this when it goes out to our stockists tomorrow at 10 AM. So again, if you are kind of hunting down that purple, again, I'd hate to say it, but don't dilly-dally too long because it could well be the first colour to sell out with the stockists as well, if the Hobby Maker trend continues. We're going to add that panel onto the top, and then we're going to bring in some of our plain diamonds to add the next layer down, or up even. And we're going to place that, let's go for, oh, should we go central? No, I don't want to go central. I'm going to stick off to one side. I'm going to go for around there. We're going to stick to where we should be. I'm in the mood to change things up tonight, can you tell? We're off on all different tangents, aren't we? But I'm going to stick with it as it should be. And then we're going to bring in our diamond with the glitter on. And we're going to place that on the top, just like we should. And then we're going to bring in our You Make My Heart Bloom expression. And I've just stacked my foam tape up on one side. And we're going to bring that in and place that off to one side, just to complete that card. Now that was simple, wasn't it? Nothing too complicated there. Self-adhesive sheet, lots of the postage diamonds cut and then stuck onto the sheet and then infill with glitter. Now, of course, you could do this with the different shapes. Just because we've chose to do it with the postage stamps, maybe if you did the fluted ones, you'd have a nice scalloped kind of fluted edge between them. If you was to do it with the scallop ones, then obviously you'd have the nice bump and kind of the diamond actually located in between the scallops. Of course, the postage ones, we've just seen what that looks like, so we could go down that route. And then, of course, you've got the decal ones too, so the decal ones would bring you a nice like edge to them as well. Or you could do the plain ones and just leave a bit of a gap between them, because that's the joy of a symmetrical shape. You can certainly space them out if you prefer to. Not too bad at all. Okay, so Affordable Crafting is asking, what was the alternative to the princess answer, please? I could not quite hear what Jamie asked. So, which diamond shape is the most popular in the world? Is it 1 round or 2 princess? So 1 round, 2 princess. Pop your answers in the comments and people pick one lucky winner to receive our lovely postage card and have that one sent out to you somewhere in the world. Now, how are our panels doing, Pete? Have they dried yet?
You remember them.
I have remembered. I'm on it.
Get
Well, I'm
gold
not on
star
it,
for that.
but we try, don't we? How are these looking? Oh, and what about the ones that we did with the inks over the top? Oh, that I had them, I believe, didn't I? So we'll bring these back in to have a little look at and show you how these look. These still aren't quite dry, but we are pushing the boundaries a bit, I suppose. It wasn't that long ago we did them, but it's nice for you to see them at this stage. So this, of course, is where we put the copper over the top. Now, I might want to give that a bit of a buff to get that excess off of this side, but it gives you that two-tone effect. Still got some of the white coming through. That one, of course, with the red is looking quite nice as well. Maybe layering those up. We're starting to head to those Christmassy themes again. The red, the green and the copper looks lovely. These panels have also settled in quite nicely, haven't they? Where we've got those kind of vintage effects coming through. They look rather yummy. And then, of course, we've got our inks. This one was actually done with our Elite misters too. So the Elite ones are those nice dye-based inks. I've just misted that over the top of that one in the lovely navy blue one, and then taken the excess off. And what's that one called? Night Sky Navy. That's the one. So Night Sky Navy misted over the top of that silver panel, which I believe is the titanium actually, and buffed off once again to give you that look of that one. So there's a little glimpse at those two. Now, how are we doing for time, Peter? Do we have time for another demo?
Or I could squeeze one
should
more
we look
in?
at some samples? Should we do samples instead?
Samples, yeah.
I feel like samples might be quite nice because I know what it's like. You might be thinking, do I need this one? Do I need that one? What ones am I going to be adding to my shopping cart come tomorrow? Because of course this whole collection is going to be launching at 10 AM tomorrow morning with our stockists. So you might want to see a little bit more inspiration. Now already, if you are looking for the cards that have been created and you want to see more about them, they are already on the Creative Expressions website. If you pop onto there, you will see a little tab on the top that says Idea Gallery. If you give that a little click, every collection or product that we bring out to you has a little tab. If you give it a click as a collection tab, give it a click, it will open up and you will see all of the collection at the top of the page, and then all of the samples that the DT and myself have made from that release. So it's a great way for you to be able to really go in and hone in and get some inspiration. It was really lovely on Saturday actually. Several people mentioned to me how much they rely on that gallery and go back to that gallery time after time, especially if they're having a bit of a brain fog day and not too sure what to do, or if they're trying to make their mind up about which bits of a collection they need to get hold of. And that is exactly why that gallery is already up there, although the products aren't available till tomorrow morning. So if you do wish to go and have a look, you can already, but of course that gallery will stay there forever. So you don't have to rush, but it's there when you want it. And if you want to save the pictures, if you want to copy the items, if you want to take ideas from them, then that's all there for you as well. A lot of times people reach out to us and say, do you mind if we take inspiration from a card that you've created or the DT have done? That is the whole reason we do them. Myself, all of the DT, all of the team, Gwen, Francois, Sue, we all make our products, we all make our cards, so that if you wish to go in and take inspiration from them and copy the card or the project, it's what they're there for. So let's give you a little glimpse of a few of these to share with you what you could be creating as quick as we can, because it'd be nice to give you some ideas, wouldn't it? So this one, of course, is with the plain diamonds. So these are just a few glimpses. Now, last week on our Monday Night Natter, we went through these in a lot more detail. But if you've got any questions, just shout and we'll do our best to run through them. But if you haven't, we'll just do a quick overview of them so you've got an idea of what you could be creating. Whether it's stacking them, cutting them down, using all of those stitch elements to go into them, like this lovely one here by Emma, or maybe this one from Christine where she's used some of the plain ones to cut apertures but still added the stitches around the edges and then added the dragonflies into them. Maybe this fun one here where they've stacked the diamonds, or another one from Christine where she's made beautiful patterns from them. This one's from Emma, and I'm sure you're going to see a video soon created with these two. And then this one from Christine where she's stamped over the top of them. And then one of my favourites from Diane, sharing with you how you can cut them in frames, stick them back together on a self-adhesive sheet, layer more diamonds over the top, and then add frames and flowers to the top of that. I love that card. And this is one of those cards that if you are having a bit of a foggy day, you could do in so many different colour schemes, so many different themes if you wanted to. That could so easily be a red and green and gold background for Christmas with beautiful poinsettias run around it. Or maybe a nice yellow and green and do it for Easter. Or maybe red and white and gold and black maybe and do it for Valentine's. Whatever it may be, to me that's a card that I could see being created for just about any occasion. So there's a bit of inspiration for the diamonds. Then let's move on and share with you some inspiration for those postage diamonds. So these ones, of course, are the ones with the posted edges. And this looks fun, doesn't it? This is cutting two back to back, so you end up with this kind of border element, which I thought was really lovely that Christine has chose to foam pad on. This one by Laura. Laura's chose to use her diamond to actually cut an aperture on her card and then sink down within it a diamond as well, and then build that up with lots of our steampunk elements. This one from Diane, bringing in those diamonds, not only the postage ones, as you can see, but also some of the plain ones to layer on top of them. And this is why we bring you the plain ones in the right sizes to layer up. You're still not covering that stitch, you're still not covering that postage element. It all just works together. And then if we move these ones out of the way, and we're bringing a few this time from the scallop. So here's one from Christine, where she's actually opened up the centre and kept that as a frame. And then on this one, packed one of our DL dies behind it. And then this one from Diane, where she's used the elements, but she's actually chose to emboss some of them and stamp on some of them, and then kind of do two-tone elements with them. I also love the way she's used the sunflower stem and foliage to build up that flower as well. Then one here from Ian for the fluted. Now Ian has chose to do the fluted as two beautiful diamonds on a gatefold and then taken those elements onto the inside as well. But this could just be one half and it could be a nice stand-up card, it could be an easel card, or of course you could trim those edges off if you're worried about popping it into an envelope and have it actually as a diamond pointing into the middle. Or you could even put another diamond over the centre of that and just have those edges come in, couldn't you? That could look rather yummy too. Then if we move on, we have got some inspiration with the deckled ones here. Now this is a rather striking card done by Wendy. Wendy's not only used the decals to make a triple layer on the top here and at the bottom, she's also brought in the scalloped ones to go behind it as well, just showing that the shapes can work really nicely together. And then brought in our beautiful butterfly that was also available on the Hobby Maker shows this week too. This one from Christine's got the violin on it, and that again was on the show this week too. It's one of the original or older dies that we've done that of course is available from our stockists as well. And then this card on the top here, this is kind of a bit like the one we just did, joining the panels back together to make up a background, but this time I've added on the Cosmos flower. Now this Cosmos flower, that has now sold out here at HQ. It was sold out on Hobby Maker. So if you are looking for the Cosmos flower, you are going to need to track that down at one of our stockists if it's one you're looking for. We will have it back, but it will be about 6 weeks till it is back in the building. I have a feeling the entwined foliage or leaves, is it entwined foliage or leaves?
Leaves.
Entwined leaves is also the same?
Very limited stock. There's
very
a
limited
handful.
stock. Okay, yeah. So a handful of those available here at HQ. I know that's sold out on Hobby Maker. So again, keep an eye on your stockists if that's one that you want to get hold of, because of when they're gone, it will be a few weeks till they are back in stock. And then shall we just have a look at a few of the pieces of inspiration that we have created with those beautiful panels. So if we start off with the striped one, These are a couple of cards actually that I demoed on Hobby Maker the other day. So if you haven't seen those shows and you wish to watch them back, you can catch up with them for up to a week on Hobby Maker. It was on Thursday I was on, and you can find those on the TV guide. Diane's used those diamonds, pieced them back together to make this beautiful background, and again brought in some flowers. Siobhan, I believe, is it, has done this one? Oh no, Emma, sorry. Emma's gone for that lovely green shade and then layered it with pearl card behind it, the mint in the middle and the titanium around the edges, and then layered up the dragonfly on the top there, as well as added on the best wishes. This one is done by Wendy. Wendy's done this really beautiful card, bringing in the musical elements. And then Christine showing us how we don't have to use all of the die as a diamond if we don't wish to. She's actually added it underneath her heart aperture, created with our layering heart dies. Ian is showing us how beautifully this can be used for all different occasions, including, of course, those sometimes tricky men's cards. This one's lovely as well, infilled with glitter behind it. And Laura's done a beautiful one here on a little easel, showing us how we can use those diamonds and the corners to make beautiful easel cards. And then this one by Wendy. Wendy's actually cut the diamond in down the middle for the front of her card and then sunk underneath it the sunflower panel instead. And doesn't that look lovely as a little reveal? Beautiful card, that one. Then if we move on from these ones, let's just take these off to one side for the second. We'll bring in the ones with the sunflower panel. So here is a stunning card created by Diane. Not only has she used the main panel, she's also used the corner elements to build up these edges coming out from it. And she's used our DL panel in the background with that beautiful ornate fretwork on it. It kind of ties together beautifully, doesn't it, between that and the swirls that are found within the sunflower panel. Then we've got another one that I did here, and this one again using 3 of those panels all nested onto the inside. And I love this because when Pete was helping me set these out earlier, he said to me, how have you done that? What panel is that? Where has that come from? And I was like, well, it's the sunflower. And he's like, no, it's not. There's no sunflower on it. And I said to him, no, it's because I covered the sunflower up. And this is what I love with this panel. There's so much area around that sunflower. If you don't wish to have the sunflower element, you can add in a different flower to the middle of it. You can, of course, cover up that middle area as well, and still you've got that beautiful border coming from around the side of it. Now this one's lovely from Laura. Laura's used the corners to make up this card and then added the best wishes on. Ian's done similar, you're just using the corner elements, adding the bees onto it and the sunflower. And Ian's also done this one with this set. Lots of yummy goldness being left on show. But yeah, added the corners and the diamonds into it and then built up that sunflower in the centre. Because of course, we've got that separate sunflower item to play with as well. Then if we move on, we've got a little bit more inspiration with that sunflower set. Let's look at these ones. So this one again is bringing in the flower elements as well as the corners. This one's using that panel and more of the flowers. This one from Christine, again, is showing us how we don't have to use a diamond as a diamond. We can use it as a swish across a rectangle. This one from Emma. Emma's used the corners to cut into this panel and made this little strip down her card instead. And I love that because it shows how playful those elements can be. Wendy's gone all white and she's even created an aperture in her card using the layered diamonds too. This one from Ian. Ian's used the flower on a different background panel, one of the DL panels again, that lovely fretwork one. This one again, showing you how the flowers can be inked over because of course, you've got that deboss element to them. Diane's done some beautiful colours here to actually accentuate those flowers. And then this again by Diane, look how yummy this is. This using the gold mirror card and the green mirror card to make this very, very opulent looking card. Doesn't that look gorgeous? I love this. If somebody had said to me they were going to make an all mirror card, I'd go, I don't know about that. But actually, I love it. I absolutely love it. That is so striking. It's the kind of project I could see framed and on a wall somewhere. Beautiful. Then we've got a few more examples to share with you, this time using the honeycomb die set. So let me just dig these out. So the honeycomb die set is absolutely spectacular because of course it's going to match in with our bee set beautifully. But again, separate edges, so we cut it in or we can cut it out, or of course we've got those plain edges to layer as well. So when we start looking at some samples from this one, whether you go into making your own card blanks with these dies, like this one here, or whether you just use the corners to accentuate the bee design, or whether you bring the corners and the panel in and really go to town with it, or maybe you go off on a completely different tangent from the bees and add in a beautiful glittery butterfly to the centre. the choice is yours. This is one of my faves. This one's done by Ian, and I really like this. And I especially like the way he's added this dripping honey onto the bottom of the honeycomb as well. Here's one I've done where I've just added in some flowers to it, and another one I demoed here on Hobby Maker. This, I believe, was the first card I did on the shows on Thursday. This time adding the honeycomb into the scalloped and pierced diamonds, which looks rather nice. And then Emma's done this fun one, and she's actually placed back in several of the pieces from the honeycomb to make up a bit of a pattern, and that kind of gives you the idea of spelling out words or making up coloured backgrounds or themed backgrounds if you prefer. And then Diane has done this one, which is rather striking too, and I thought that was rather lovely. And then we're going to move on, and we're going to share with you our last pile of samples, and this one is using the damask background. So I'm just going to take these ones off to one side. Now, first of all, we've got a stunning box that Diane's created, and not only has she used the damask nested inside the decal diamond on the top here, she's also used the decal squares and placed the diamonds into the corner. She's also used those words that we looked at a moment or two ago, and she's added into the middle of that the butterfly as well. Then on the inside of the box, you will see that she's also brought in those corners and elements running throughout this panel too, as well as creating this beautiful pillar style collapsible element on the top of her card blank. And you'll notice that in the background she's used that DL panel running throughout, so it all just ties together, as well as multiple colours of our gemstones glitters. Thought that was absolutely spectacular. That's certainly a wow card, isn't it? And especially with that matching box to boot, that really is one that somebody's going to fall in love with. Then this is one of the cards I also demoed on Hobby Maker the other day. This is showing you how you can take your dies, cut bigger backgrounds with them. We don't just have to treat them as diamonds. This is why we don't attach those edges. If you wish to, you can cut big background sheets, and then I've just stuck it down onto a self-adhesive sheet and added glitter through it. Now, this damask pattern is proving rather popular too. I believe this was one of the first of the patterns to sell out on the shows. Looking to Pete to get a nod or a shake on that one. I might be wrong, but I did pick up that one was rather popular indeed.
Yeah, I think it was that one.
And then this is cool. Emma's done this one. She's used the corners to place them back together to make a diamond. Very, very cool. This one is one of the videos that I believe Emma has already shared with us, giving you a glimpse at what you could be creating with these. And I know that there are more videos to come from Emma with this collection. So again, once you've got it home, you're not left on your own. There is more and more inspiration coming from myself and the team. And that gives you a little overview very quickly of, I think, all of the samples I've got to hand with this collection. Now, if you have any questions, pop them in the comments as quick as you can, and we'll do our very best to answer them for you. But of course, the all-important bit of information is telling you where you go. Oh, I know what I forgot. They're on my desk. Wait there a second. There is more samples. There's the samples for the bees, isn't there? Of course, I nearly forgot them. So the bee stamp and die set, we do need to look at these. These, again, beautiful. This is another one of the cards that I demoed on Hobby Maker on Thursday. And then you've got more elements coming through with these using all of the different components we've been looking at. I love this one where they've used just the corners to make up these two little windows. Is that our Christine? That is our Christine. I should have known by the size. But I love that. Such a playful way to create and make up something fun. Laura has done this one for us as well. And I thought that was rather clever, using the diamonds to create our own card blank as an easel, but as a landscape instead of a portrait, and then added on the flowers. Diane has made one of our little boxes, and in the boxes we will find lots and lots of cards and envelopes that all coordinate. Isn't this beautiful? Now, I know I chatted about this on air and last week on the Sneaky Peek, but isn't that an incredible set? All coordinating, all matching. I just love a set like that. I know you hear me say this all the time, but I love the idea of giving a gift like this to somebody who's maybe not too crafty, that's then going to have the joy of being able to send those out all throughout the year. All of those kind of like little notebook cards that we need, don't we? When we forgot something, or we just want to say a little thank you or a little get well soon, that's the kind of box set that's really lovely to be able to reach for and be able to send out, especially if you are somebody who's not too crafty. It's just really sharing that love of handmade without having to necessarily make them yourself. And if you are making to sell, then of course our angel policy is really, really generous. You can make and sell as many as you wish to, because we genuinely believe that you've invested your pennies in our products. It's only fair that we let you make and create and sell as many as you wish to, whether that is for yourself, for charity, or of course turning it into a little business. Maybe it's just as a hobby, but whatever it may be, we don't want to add limitations to that for you. Now this is a fun one as well. I think this one's our lovely Sharon. It is. Sharon's made a little wallet here, and in the little wallet, in the pockets, you will find beautiful little cards and envelopes. Once again, all coordinating. So again, you can send that joy of being able to hand out handmade cards for a long time to come, because there's loads in here. And it's just a lovely little set, a lovely little pack. I do genuinely love this idea. And actually what I also like is the way that Sharon's added back in the waste from the honeycomb die and just paper pieced them together, or stuck them down even onto that to complete that little look. And then the last sample I want to share with you is this incredible box that Diane's made. I love this. Look at this for a beautiful, beautiful box. Using the stamps all the way around the outside of it, then adding the stamps onto the top there as well, and of course using the coordinating die cuts to cut it all out, and then building up that stunning scene. What a box. What a joy to be able to hand this over to somebody. And I know if this was mine, it would never leave my coffee table. This is the kind of box I would keep my remotes in, maybe my treats in, maybe something. I don't even know what else. Maybe it might be a little memory box. Maybe it might be where I store all of my little trinkets. But I know for sure it's a box that's not going to leave my sight, because I absolutely adore it. And I just think it shows how you could take these papercraft products into a whole nother league of home decor and gift giving. Now that does complete them all. I know that's all of them. Well, I think it is anyway. I think I'm safe to say it is. So if you do wish to get your hands on those goodies, and you want to know where you can get them, then don't forget tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. is when they're going to be coming available at our stockists. So if you didn't already write down your favourite stockists, let's give you a quick read through once again of them. So you're going to be able to get hold of these at Dragon's Papercraft, Gilly's Crafts, Unicorn Crafts, Craft Bliss, Julia Watts Crafts, Glitter Bits Crafts and Gifts, The Art of Craft, Affordable Crafting, Cheshire Crafts, Craft Mania, and of course there's a little bit of stock still available from Hobby Maker. So if you need that list reading out again, do let me know in the comments and we will hopefully help you with that. But if not, then of course I've read it out a couple of times, so hopefully you've got that down. Now, while Pete is picking his winners, have we got winners already, Pete?
We have.
Good. Okay, well, while you're just holding on to them for a second, I'm going to share this with them as well. Now, this, of course, is our die of the week this week. Now, I've got a few fun cards to share with you with this one. This is one of Sue's dies. It's from her festive collection, but as you can see, it is anything short of a Christmas die. This is the Swirls background. The code for this is CED 3235. Its recommended retail price is $13.99. But being die of the week, you may be able to find it at some of our stockists with a whopping 20% off recommended retail. Now, I don't know about you, I love this. This is so fun. This is such a great card. It just shows how creative you could be with this. This is done by Laura on our, of course, very talented DT team. She's used one of the Norman the Gnome stamps. This is our Mexican stamp set. Is it called Mexican stamp set? Oh, I'm getting the look from Pete. It is one of our Normans. I'm sure you'll find it. It's a Woodware one. And as you can see, she's taken this background, she's twisted it, she's cut it in lots of different colours. And I thought that was a really, really fun look and creative idea. But on top of that, not only has she cut it in all of those colours and got all of those pieces that have come out of it, instead of letting them go to waste, she's brought them in and she's paper pieced them back in to create this really cool stained glass effect inside this card. So it just shows how everything goes around and can be used. And this one, of course, could be just about any occasion. Then we've got one from Sharon, beautiful card from Sharon, adding the fairy onto it. And then let me dig through, because I can't share all of them with you, because that would be naughty. We have to let them appear as if by magic on our 9 a.m. posts each day. Now this one's done by Lynn, and she's added in lots of enchanted sprinkles over the top of it. Another one from Lynn where she has actually nested it inside one of our scalloped hearts, or our fluted heart mats and layered dies. She has some beautiful stamping behind it with our rambling roses. I love that. Very, very cool. I like the way it's kind of entwined. Very romantic, beautiful set. And then what else have we got over here? Oh, this is another one from Laura. Laura's created this one here and added another one of our Normans on the front. and then open out to show that you've got that background on the front and of course on the inside of the card as well. And then this little one on the edge, again done by Lynn. Lynn's brought in some of our Crafty Concoctions and made some beautiful acetate flowers, and then actually added a little bit onto the acetate in the middle there, which hopefully you can see, and then created a lovely window card with some lilac card behind it, so you can see that sparkle and shimmer come through. Now you're going to see lots of these posted at 9 AM each day on the Creative Expressions main page, but if you would like to get that die, it is CED 3235, and as I said, it should be $13.99, but you could find it at many of our stockists reduced to, well, I don't know actually, what is 20% off $13.99? With 20% off, let's not attempt maths at this stage of the evening, but up to 20% off because it is the die of the week. I just see the look of fear on Pete's face when I said, what is 20% off? What is that? It's going to be £2.80, isn't it?
We need that little camera just to watch me, don't we?
Just that look of sheer fear that comes over like,
me.
I don't know what that is, but about £2.80 off of that. So it's going to make it about £11.20-ish, I think, mathematically. I'm not good at maths, so I might be wrong, but around that somewhere, isn't it? About 20% off. So it's a good price for a very large die. The die size is 12.2 by 12.2 centimetres. Okay, any questions or bits before we pick our winners for this evening?
No, I don't think so. The Norman was a Fiesta Norman.
Fiesta Norman, of course he is.
It was.
Should have known that. Is it Fiesta or Siesta? Fiesta.
Fiesta, yeah.
Fiesta like the car.
Oh. It always gets me. You leave me speechless. I love you.
You have to remember these things, don't you? Fiesta,
You
not
do.
Fiesta.
Kim did say it was a fabulous Fiesta background, which it was. Fun party, wasn't it? So
Let's go over to Pete. Catch him unawares.
no, that's mean, isn't it? He's horrible.
I told you. I pushed the button. I told you. Come on, give us some winners. We've got two winners to do this evening, haven't we?
I wasn't prepared for this.
No, I know you wasn't.
I haven't even got my buzzer ready.
Well, I did tell you. I gave you time. I told you we were going to do Die of the Week. That was your moment.
Star.
Definite naughty star. Okay, so question number one. Diamond question. Which is the hardest natural material? Was it A, diamond, or B, gold? Now, I know you come and cheated and looked at my answers, so would you like to reveal the right answer?
The correct answer was actually diamond. Not that, you know, anyway. Thank you all for all your comments. I'm not going to dig myself any further.
Did they unanimously go for A, or did anybody go for B?
Well, Diane went for B. She said she likes to be different.
I like that. Rebelliousness.
Rebellious. Anyway, stop waffling. Thanks all for joining in on that one. And let's say the first winner of the pink and white card is always goes on a long time. Helen Bell. Congratulations, Helen. Thank you for commenting A. If you drop us an email, jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com, and let us know if you want the boss man to sign it, and we will have it arranged.
The boss man.
Well,
Sound like a mafia boss.
We move on to the next question.
Question 2 this evening. Which diamond shape is the most popular in the world? Was it 1, round, or 2, princess? And the answer was...
Lots of you comment. There was lots of mix on this one, wasn't there? There was lots of both comments on this one. Anyway, correct answer was A, round.
1. We did 1 or 2. You can't now give A.
We did 1. Naughty star. Pay attention, Peter. Anyway, thank you all for joining that one. And the winner is... Tracy Dean. Congratulations, Tracy. And you will win the second card. So if you drop us an email at jamierodgerscrafts@hotmail.com, let us know if you'd like it signed as well. We'll get that popped in the post for you as soon as possible. But yeah, thank you all for joining in with our silly educational Monday evening.
Oh, I like this. We can upgrade from silly to educational because we give a bit of info.
Can we though?
Well, we can attempt, Pete. We can but attempt. Before we forget or end our education on Monday, let's give you some times and dates for your diary, shall we? So on Wednesday, we will be back here right on this page at 7 p.m. for our sneaky peek of Woodware. So if you can join us 7 p.m. Wednesday, we will go through our brand new Woodware collection that will be launching exclusively on Hobby Maker on Monday, the 23rd of March at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And of course, Francoise will be there in the studio live, bringing you fun, educational inspiration. So you can't miss that because it's always good, isn't it? She's amazing. She's so super talented, and it'll be a joy to be able to see her back on Hobby Maker. So that will be Monday at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. But Wednesday at 7 p.m. we'll give you a sneak peek so you know what's coming. Now, of course, talking and planning ahead, we have our next demo day coming up at Craft Bliss on Saturday the 28th of March. So if you are in the Poole area or would like to travel, maybe you'd like a little cheeky weekend away, then I know Craft Bliss would love to have you come and visit. If you'd like to know more about where that is and more details about Craft Bliss and the day, then check out the event section of the Creative Expressions main page, because there will be an event already posted telling you all about that demo day, where you can go and how you can join in with the fun. It will be on from 10 till 4. It's completely free to attend, and Julie and Barry will of course be the most amazing hosts. Gwen will be in place, giving you lots of inspiration with some of our latest collections, including, I believe, maybe even the Woodware collection. Am I right on that? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, I don't know. I'll tell you on Wednesday, we'll see. But there will be lots of inspiration and lots of fun to be had. So do join Gwen at Craft Bliss on March 28th. Okay, don't forget tomorrow, all of the new diamond collection will be available from Dragon's Papercraft, Gilly's Craft, Unicorn Craft, Craft Bliss, Julie Watts Craft, Glitter Bits Crafts and Gifts, The Art of Craft, Affordable Crafting, Cheshire Crafts, Craft Mania, and of course, Little Bits are still available at Hobby Maker. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you all again on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. when we sneaky peek our Woodware collection. Thank you all very much for being with us this evening and giving us your time.
Thank you. See you soon.
Good night all.
Good night.
Bye for now.
Bye.